Professor Gibson. This is a video about graphing and recursive formulas. It's one of a series of 3 videos to help you with the Excel project that we've got in this class. All right, so here's a little list of the various topics. If you want to freeze it and copy that or something, you can. For now, I'm just going to jump over to Excel. I have 2 sets of points listed, all right? This one on the left here is linear, and the one on the right is exponential pattern. Okay. So the first thing we're going to have to do is graph them. Now, I've kind of left these last 2 with the blank. For the next step, we're not going to graph those. Let's highlight the values we're going to graph. Then you get to the graph, you click Insert. We're going to graph it with a scatter plot, is what the directions are going to say to do. Scatter plot is just this thing here with just the icon with little points. You know, see, in fact, it says Insert Scatter. Gives you 5 to choose from. Just pick the simple one that's just the points with no lines or anything. Okay? Now, next, the graph needs a title. You're going to pick a title that is appropriate for the data, you know, and the situation, right? So this data here is actually cost per hour tutored. Okay, so I'm going to grab this here, slide this graph over so it doesn't lay over the other data. Now the next thing is we need labels on the y-axis and the x-axis. Click the plus here. By the way, if you don't see the plus, just click here on the white, all right, and then the plus will pop up. Click Axis Titles. Now you notice their title space for a title came up on the y-axis and the x. The y is highlighted first. We'll go ahead and start with that. I'm going to delete the label that's in there and type in total cost in dollars. Okay, so you notice I have the units there. You're gonna want to do that for all your axis titles on any graph that you make. All right, and then we're going to get rid of what's in there, and then this one is going to be hours tutored. Okay, now, so there's our labels. Click again in the white space. Now we need to add a trend line and the equation. So we're going to click the plus, come down here and click on trend line, and click click the arrow, more options. All right, now for some reason, I don't know why, sometimes it does this. It's trying to format the trend line. It's not showing to me, so I'm going to close that down. So we're going to do it again. Plus, trend line, more options. Now it brings it up. Okay. So you see it's already picked linear. Excel has looked and figured out this is linear. For the linear one, if it messes it up, you just click on that. And I'll show you, like, see if I pick exponential, see how the line that it draws in is curved like an exponential one? This data is linear, that's the better fit. Now grab the slider bar and go all the way down and click on Display Equation. So the equation pops up. I tend to like to move it away, so if you click on it and then kind of grab it, you can move it away so it's not right on the line. Okay? Now, so you're going to want to do that same thing with the exponential data. I'm going to leave that to you to do. The only difference will be make sure that place where you pick the type of line, we don't pick linear, pick exponential. All right? Now, next. So for each of the data sets, you're going to pick the next point using a recursive method and then using the explicit method. All right? Now, if you remember the recursive method, actually, I have the formula here on the next sheet. So the recursive method, right, here's the formula for linear. The current point you want is P sub n equals P sub n minus 1 plus D. So you use the previous point to get the current point, all right? And for a linear one, the D, if you look at it, D is the difference between one data value and the next, all right? So let's come over here. So for the point we want here, I'm going to use, first we need to figure out what this D is. Well, the difference from 270 up to 295, that's 25, right? 270 plus 25 is 295. Okay, now it's recursive, so I type equals, click on the previous point, and then I'm going to add the difference between 2 of the points, plus 25. All right. Now, explicit is going to use the y value, if you will, or for these cases we call them the n value. All right, so let's click over here. As a reminder, the explicit one, it's dn, it's that same d, it's the difference between 2 points, times the n, which is the y, plus the initial value, the p0. All right, so remember the n, or the d is 25, right? So equals 25 times on the y value plus that initial p0, the p initial value. All right, there we got it. There's the recursive one, there's the explicit one. Now you're going to want to do the same thing then for the exponential. I have the formulas over here again. All right, now notice for the exponential, what you do is p sub n is 1 plus r times p sub n minus 1. In other words, you're just going to take the previous point times this 1 plus r, okay? Well, there's a trick for finding the 1 plus r. I'll show you. Type equals, and it's one data value divided by the previous one. So I'm just going to click on the last one, divide, click on the previous one. Okay, there it is. It's 1.1. Now, so go ahead and delete that because you don't want it hanging in. Write that down or something, right? 1.1 on this one. When you do it with whatever data you get in the project, you can do the same thing to find it. Now, so it's simply the equals the previous value times 1.1. All right, there it is. Now, this one is we're going to do the same thing on this one like we did before, in the sense that this last one is going to now be the explicit. I'm going to leave you to figure that out, right? You've got the formula here, or you can look it up in the book. Okay, so that's it for this video. And that will help you navigate this elements, if you will, or this part of the Excel project.